That's what the whole theme for April is. So that's what we're moving into today, accepting those blessings. And so we accept the showers, the blessings, the showers that we are talking about are the showers that come from God, Spirit, from the divine. So we are being showered with blessings, showered with blessings. They come through us, they're back of us, they're within us, they're in every aspect of our life if we but notice them, notice them. We have to open our hearts truly to experience these blessings because they are there. And as most of you know, and those of you who don't will know, I was in Arizona last week at the ANTN conference, and that's Affiliated New Thought Network, which is an organization that we are a member of, and I felt like I was so showered with blessings there. Blessings from the inspirational speakers, from the wonderful, loving practitioners and ministers who were there, and all the food that they continuously served. It was just blessings everywhere. It really was a lovely, lovely trip. I mean, coming back, but coming back was really interesting because two people I know, in fact, they're both practitioners, were from two other centers, one from Delaware and one from Morristown. We were sitting on this huge plane, and there's three across, and they were Elsie, Marlene, and myself. We booked this three different ways, but what a blessing. So we all got to ride back together. It was just amazing when we get out of our own way and we let Spirit organize our lives. All kinds of things take place. So one of the people that inspired me, next week I'll talk about Don Jose Ruiz, who was just great. He wrote the Fifth Agreement. He was really Don Miguel's son. Phenomenal. But I'm going to talk about just a little quote from the Emerson Theological Institute president, Dr. Angelo Pizzello, who is like the sweetest little guy. I always say he's like the universe because he always says yes. He says yes to no matter what you ask him. But he spoke about radical reliance on God. Radical reliance on God. And that is to follow the divine longing in our hearts. We all have a divine longing in our hearts, and to rely on this love intelligence to guide us, to pull us forward, because it's always present, giving of itself. But we have to stop, pay attention, listen, and then follow. Come on in. And then follow the guidance, the pulling, that you will receive it. You will receive it. Because what it is about is evolving into a higher consciousness. So the whole theme was evolving into a heart consciousness. That was the theme of the conference. So each speaker had a way of doing that. It was just incredible. It's really incredible. And it's about relying on this divine presence to move us forward, to pull us into places that we really want to experience, the experiences we really want to have. And so Reverend Michelle Whittington, who is a mentor of mine, one of the phrases she used, and she also did a really cool thing, at the end she closed it with a song. She's never sang a solo before, but she was stepping out of the box. But she said, in order to go higher, you have to go deeper. So in order to go higher in our awareness, in our consciousness, we have to go deeper within ourselves and allow it to unfold, to instruct, to guide us, because there is that divine spark within each and every one of us. And that's what we're doing here at Joyful Gathering. We are collectively, hopefully, collectively deepening in our spiritual journey together. That is the whole point of us meeting on Sundays, so that we can do it as a group. It's so much more powerful to do it as a group, and that's what we're doing here. We really are. And today we're going to explore the idea, the theme for this, whether the talk's name is The Ancient Secret of Happy Living. And it's really not a secret, but it's an idea of which you might not have given a lot of credence to before or made a habit of, but it's something that can truly, transform each and every one's life, each and every one's life. Why? We would say, why is this, it's not a secret, but you're going to know it in a minute. The nature of the universe is always reciprocal, right? It always gives back that which is put into it. So what are we putting into our lives that is coming back? How can we transform if we don't like what's going on in our lives? Because there's ways of transforming, and one in particular. But before we go into that, I have an illustration about the reciprocal universe. And it's a man and his son. They were taking a walk in the forest, and the young boy stepped on something sharp, and he just screamed, "Ah!" And he hears back, "Ah!" And so he was very surprised to hear this voice coming back. And he was filled with curiosity about this, so he screams, "Who are you?" And he heard back, "Who are you?" That's usually me, Fred. He hears back, "Who are you?" And now he's really filled with curiosity, and he said, "You're a coward." And he hears back, "You're a coward." And then he asked his father, "What is that? Why am I hearing this back again? What's going on?" And the father says, "Son, pay attention. Pay attention." Then he screams again, "I admire you." And the voice comes back, "I admire you." And the father then yells out, "You are wonderful." And he comes back, "You are wonderful." And the boy is surprised, but he still doesn't understand. And his father explains to him that it's an echo. But it's just like life. It will always give back to you what you put into it. So that is our metaphor to move through this talk today. What we put out always comes back to us. It's a reflection of who we are. It's a reflection of who we are. We are to the world. What we are to the world is to us. What we are to the world is to us. So, as I said, our topic is the ancient secret of happy living, and so it is in alignment with a core concept that we use here in the classes. We teach it, and it's something that we all know. And it's engaging in the act of blessing everything. Because as we give out blessings, as we bless everything that takes place, then we are blessed. As we bless, so too then are we blessed. So Catherine Ponder, I have a quote from her. She's a New Thought, one of the greatest New Thought prosperity teachers. In her book, The Prosperity Secret of the Ages, says that the act of blessing everything is transformative. It is a transformative prosperity secret. So that's why we bless when we give our tithes, when we give our gifts. That's why we bless. I bless everybody in my life, even if the experience feels like something really not comfortable. I'm still blessing it because I know there is some good in there. And that is the little trick, if you will, is to try to really see a little bit of good in every situation and then bless it, knowing it's unfolding for a higher good in your life. Because in that blessing, you are blessing yourself. You are blessing yourself. Now, the reason I called it an ancient secret is because I'm going to quote from the Old Testament. And particularly, they have a lot written in there about blessing. And one of the scriptures I'm going to quote is from Hebrews, and they put a lot of store in this power of blessing, a lot of store in it. If one was to receive a spoken blessing, he did not want anyone else to stand in his way of accepting it. Blessing was the greatest gift you could give to another. So this is a priceless gift, and each and every one of us can do it. We can all do it. The Bible tells us that Jacob felt a blessing that was so powerful that he stole the blessing that his father was bestowing upon his brother. God pointed out the great power of blessing to Abraham when he said to him, I will bless thee and make thy name great, and be thou a blessing. He's telling him to bless everyone and everything in his life. So, what exactly is a blessing? So I quoted from the dictionary. Webster's dictionary says, to bless is to hallow or consecrate by religious rite or word, to invoke divine care, to confer prosperity or happiness upon. It also says, a thing conducive to happiness or welfare. A blessing is conducive to happiness. Don't we want to be happy?
Yeah.
Yes. I think we want to be happy, and lots of times things don't feel real happy. But again, those are the times you can really transform yourself. Those are the times to really bless and to see the good. To see the good, because that good is reflected. It's your good. It's in you. Okay? It's in you. So Ernest Holmes, in his Science of Mind textbook, in the back there's a glossary defining different words. So for blessing, he says, constructive thought directed toward anyone or any condition. You bless an individual when you recognize the divinity in him or her. Each one of us is a divine being, so we can at least, even if we don't like the person, if we don't like what's going on, we can at least, well, you've got to get honest, too. I mean, there are some people that are kind of annoying. But at the same time, we can find something. We can find one thing in there. Because it's going to come back to us. Remember, like the echo. Okay, it's going to reflect back to us. That's the thing to remember. So if you make a habit of blessing everything and everyone, it can and will transform your life. Blessings and blessings. Every experience. Ultimately, every experience, they are the blessings in disguise. They might not look like it at the time sometimes, but they can be your greatest blessings. Your greatest blessings come in all different kinds of packages, all different kinds of situations, but you're looking for the good in that situation. And that is what is reflected back to you. It's reflected back because you're looking for the good, so you're blessing, and you, in turn, will be blessed. And so there was a little girl who one night was saying her bedtime prayers, and after saying her blessing, she blessed her mother, her father, her brother, her sister, family members, all of the pets, everything and everyone that she could think of. And she also said at the end, "Dear God, bless you too, because if anything happens to you, we're all sunk." We know nothing's going to happen to God, but that was her prayer. We bless God for the good that truly is in our lives. We have so much good in our lives. We really do. And if you remember, for Palm Sunday, we had a little celebration here, Reverend Jessica and I and the practitioners, and we blessed everybody with a rose and with the water. And that's what you can take out into the world, that kind of blessing. Just blessing everybody. Blessing each and every person you come across within yourself. So first focus on the good, and then bless it. And bless even, like I said, the not so good, because it tends to bring forth the good. Remember, we do these spiritual practices, and they do up-level the whole community, the whole planet. They do. They really do. But they also up-level us. And it's our consciousness that we're changing, that we're moving through. That helps transform the collective consciousness, because remember, there's only one here, right? We're all unified in this oneness. We really are. So to bless really is to judge not according to appearances. And as the Master Teacher Jesus advised, but to judge righteous judgment, and that is to behold the good and thereby bringing it forth in our lives, bringing it forth, blessing and bringing forth good. And I use that word a lot because it really is a high vibration, a high frequency word. You know, because we have a lot of situations going on. So if we look for just being a little willing to look for something in that situation that might be good, just that little willingness, it opens the crack that allows the universe to flow right through. And you know, once the universe, which is pure energy, flows through, it fills up. It fills up. It just needs that little space, that little willingness to be open to the possibility. So blessing the good is the easy part, as I said, but blessing the not so good, that can be the tricky part. But that's the part when we're in that, because it's easy to bless. When everything's going great, you're feeling super, everything's flowing just the way you want it to. Oh, it's easy, very easy to be happy and bless everything. But to really transform, we go through, all of us go through situations in our lives. Then if we can use that practice at that point, that's when we transform ourselves. That's the work we're here to do, each and every one of us. It's transformative. So I have one little story here about a grocer who went to his guru one day in great distress to say across the street, he had a grocery store, and across the street a chain store had opened, and he was highly concerned about this, highly concerned, because he wasn't skilled at anything except for this grocery business. It had been in his family for a century. And the master said, if you fear the owner of the chain store, you will hate him, because out of fear comes hate. And it is a hatred that will be your undoing. That will undo you. So what should I do? Said the distraught grocer. Each morning, walk outside of your shop and bless your shop. Know that it is filled with prosperity. And then turn around and bless the other store, the chain store. And know that they are also filled with prosperity. What? Bless my competitor? The grocer said. Are you crazy? But the gratitude and blessings that you will be giving him will rebound your good. And the evil you wish upon him will destroy you. You ever been in a place where you're in fear and you have anger coming out? What? Who's suffering? Who's suffering? You. After 6 months of doing this, the grocer returned to his teacher, and he said he had to close down the shop anyway. But what happened was he got a position in the chain store that was so much better than the one he had running his own store. So we don't know how life unfolds. It just unfolds. But staying in that stream, that consciousness of blessing, helps it unfold to bless us in ways we can't plan ourselves. Oh, there's a great mind, because the universe is just like the echo. It is reciprocal. It will give you back what you put into it. No exceptions, because we like to make exceptions. It doesn't work that way. Except for, doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. We are to the world, remember, what the world is to us. So Paul in Romans said, bless and curse not. Let us not be overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good. And of this scripture, because Ernest Holmes loved scriptures, and he would metaphysically interpret them, and he writes in the book, his Science of Mind book, about that. Here is the whole law and prophets. We are to overcome evil with good. Evil lasts but a day, while goodness shines to eternity, and loving kindness is the very nature of deity. As the darkness has no power over the light, so evil is overcome with good. So what is evil then? As defined by Ernest Holmes, evil is that which seems destructive. It is an experience of the soul on its journey toward the realization of reality. Of itself, it is neither person, place, nor thing, and will disappear in the exact proportion that we cease using destructive methods. Erroneous thinking, wrong thinking, that's how New Thought defines evil. Wrong thinking. And who suffers from the wrong thinking? So what if, by blessing, we could be a light in someone's life? That energy is tangible. It's palpable. You can feel it. You bless people, anyone, somebody you're passing in the street, send them a blessing. It'll come back to you. When we bless a problem, an injury, a lack, or a foe, we acknowledge the divinity in the situation or the person. So remember, we're acknowledging that there is a divinity in each and every person. No exceptions, none. And if we bless a problem, if we bless our body, let's say, if we have something that we feel or diagnosed, as Patty's reading was, with some kind of illness, bless away, bless it, bless away the troublesome physical condition and recognize the perfection within. Because this is how the law works. By sending the perfection to that organ, to the cells in your body, you will reveal the radiant light. You can heal yourself this way. This is what these New Thought teachers did. This is how it began. They didn't have doctors around then. They did it through prayer work. They did it by recognizing the perfection within. So we can send the light to any part of our body, our systems. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it. It will reveal itself. Myrtle Fillmore, who is a co-founder of Unity, regained her health. She's one of those people, turn of the other century, 1900. Through this method. Told that she had a terminal condition, she began blessing and thanking each organ in her body, praising the intelligence within it, praising the innate intelligence within it, and encouraging it to come forth into new life. Because scientifically, we know this, we're always creating new cells. What kind of cells are you creating for your physicality? What cells are you creating? Are you pouring in blessings? Or are you in fear and lack, limitation? Because that's what we are co-creating. We co-create. We co-create. And so by encouraging this radiant health to come forth, we bring it into life. We bring it into our experience. I bless my body. Here's an affirmation. I bless my body and my mind, for they are good and worthy of my love. I bless my body and my mind, for they are worthy and good of my love. How we do it again? I bless my body and mind. They are good and worthy of my love. Are they not?
Yes.
Yes. We are. We're worthy. Bless your problems. Bless your problems. Even if you feel you are powerless before that idea, bless them anyway. Bless everything anyway. A blessing will call forth that good we spoke about, where right now you can only see maybe the darkness or the problem, the obstacle or the challenge. Bless it. Know there's a higher purpose taking place. That's what I do. I just go, there's a higher purpose taking place here. Only my good is coming forth, no matter what is I'm feeling. It's not going into, it is denying in a spiritual sense, absolutely denying the problem and knowing the truth, but it's not stuffing, it's not repressing, it's not suppressing, it's acknowledging this doesn't feel good, this stinks. But I'm going to bless it anyway, because I know there's a higher good taking place for me. I know something will come out of this that is for my highest good. That's the practice. These are the things that we can start to practice in our lives. So, bless your debts. But in the search See, look at this. The Father's good. It says the Father's good to provide. You know, you will be provided for. It's pretty amazing how you can be provided for. And in his book, Charles Fillmore, on prosperity, Charles and Myrtle founded Unity. He describes, and I'm going to read this from his book, he describes the power of a blessing this way. I love this. Blessing the substance increases its flow. If your money supply is low or your purse seems empty, take it in your hands and bless it. See it filled with the living substance already so that it manifests. As you prepare your meals, bless your food with the thought of spiritual substance. He continues, when you dress, bless your garments and realize that you are constantly clothed with God's substance. The more conscious you become of the presence of the living substance, the more it will manifest itself for you, and the richer will be the common good for all. Identify yourself with the substance and make it yours, he said. It will change your finances, destroy your fears, stop your worries, and you will soon begin to rejoice in the ever-present bounty of God. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
We can do this. Try it. That's what we say about this practical spirituality. Try it. Just try it. If it doesn't work, then don't do it. But try it.
You'll like it.
Maybe, yeah, you might like it. Maybe the way you've been doing things hasn't really been very effective. So try something new. Blessing. Blessing. So it is absolutely possible to bless an empty purse into plump abundance. Empty shelves into blessed sufficiency. An empty heart into the fullness of joy. Remembering this simple affirmation that you can use often in releasing this dynamic power of blessing everything. God blesses me and makes me a blessing. God blesses me and makes me a blessing. See how we're all connected. It's all reciprocal. God blesses me and makes me a blessing. I can give it away. The more I give it away, and they say that in the program, the more we give it away, the more we get it. The more we get to keep it. So, form the habit of blessing everything. Form this habit of blessing everything you have. And it might seem foolish to some people if you're just blessing nickels and dimes and dollars, but we know from our Prosperity Plus, and the plus part is really all the extra stuff, which is like the real meat. Like Mandy, here she made more money than she's ever made last year, but she also, the revelation of her life's journey, of its purpose, was revealed to her in the first class. And then it's so cool to watch. I'm so glad you're doing this with me again. Because each 10-week class, you can see the progression of it. The first class, her purpose was revealed to her. And then she manifested all these trips. She missed half the classes, I think, because she was gone on all these trips. She kept manifesting them. But the second one, she actually opened a massage cancer place for people to come, a healing center. Now she's going to be healing people in the third one. So it's just going to be really awesome, because it is really awesome. So when we bless our money, our lives, our physicality, our situation, our relationships, when we bless them all, the good, the bad, the ugly, when we bless them all, yes, we are then covered. We're immersed in blessing, because we get it back. We get it back. It feels better. It feels better. So I'd like you to think of an idea of something that you would like. Say it out loud. One person, something blessed. Say one thing. It could be a current issue that's going on in the news. It could be something in your life. What blessing would you like?
That's so good.
So we'll know that you're ex-husband is filled with the divinity of God, and that you absolutely bless him and send him on his loving way. And you are filled with peace. You are filled with peace. You are filled with harmony within yourself. Bless him, and you take all the good for you.
Bless my mom.
And so we know that your mom is a divine being of the light. And so that in that knowing that she is a divine being of the light, it comes back reflected as you, because you radiate. You are so bright. I can't even look at you. You're so reflect. You see how we can just turn things around? And just because it raises our vibration, we feel better, the whole situation changes, our experience changes, and we become a better presence in the world. And so today, yes, today is Earth Day, so we bless the Earth. We know that Mother Earth is absolutely whole, healed, and complete, perfect in every way. We bless this spiritual center, knowing that God's good flows through this center, through each and every person that attends, anyone that has ever walked through that door, and anyone that's affiliated in any way is completely blessed, because this is a community of love. This is a community of joy, of well-being, of support, So Ernest Holmes writes in his textbook, when we constructively praise and creatively bless, life abounds with love, peace, and joy. So let goodness shine forth. Let us learn to see that everyone is an evolving Christ. Let us so live and think that we may look upon all with love, condemning none and blessing all. And that, my friends, is the ancient secret to happy living. As we do this blessing, that's the end of the talk. We'll move right into, usually Reverend Jessica's here.
I want to bless you for being here. It just seems like the convention brings you light to your face, and we can just see that, that stuff works.
Thank you. I radiate it back to you.
Yes, you do.
Right back to you, Fred. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I was trying to take a pause so Joe would stop the camera from running because the talk's over.